Hey everybody, this is Vril. Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 and our playthrough as France as we tick ever closer to changing over to the communist ideology. We're neck and neck, 50-50 with the democratic ideology. Now, in terms of our national focus, we're working on national mobilization, and that's important because it'll remove the disjointed government, and that disjointed government is giving us this minus 10% to national unity and also decreasing our daily political power by quite a bit. So let me just go ahead, get things started. We are working on producing some weapons with our 7 military factories at the moment. We just need to boost up our civilian factories slightly and then probably go into moving a lot more of our civilian factories over to military factories here, moving into 1937. So hopefully coming up we'll actually get some sort of decision that either could be like a revolution or a coup d'etat with our Communist Party here. So that would be quite good if that could happen. We've got a bunch of guys exercising. These guys are about done. I think I'm just going to stop them from exercising because they're using up whatever our weak military factories are producing at the moment. So here we go. So communists demand referendum. So Marxist ideas took root in France a long time ago, but have gained much more widespread support lately. The movement has spread outside the political theory and into political practice, with disgruntled workers and even some high-profile celebrities voicing support. The communists call this class consciousness. The Parti Radical calls it a fast track to riots and treason. Showing little faith in Edouard Daladier being willing to implement the reforms they demand, the more vocal communists have called for an immediate referendum to have the current government removed. While we might be able to reverse the momentum of this mass movement, failure to do so will doubtlessly result in a more popular communist method of removal, revolution, which we certainly do not want to have. So we can have un-French activities must be stopped. We certainly don't want that one. So these top two look like they're, if we wanted to maintain the democratic ideology. Gains communist revolutionary chance, also decreases national unity. Here's what we want. That referendum is preferable to a bloody revolt. The Communist Party becomes a ruling party. We still lose 5% national unity, but as soon as we click this, we're going to change over to the French Commune. So we have our new flag, and very, very good. So we are actually able to start justifying wars at the moment. Of course, we don't have the political power for it, but nevertheless, we are able to. Now, okay, we got a ship over here. Where's he going? Let me make sure all of our ships are in one place. I thought they were, but apparently not if we got one guy hanging out in there in the Mediterranean. So, in terms of wars that we want to do, obviously we were thinking about going into Belgium, Luxembourg here. So, otherwise, though, we were also... Did we research it? Let me double check here. We didn't research this. Okay, because I was thinking that Iraq certainly has a lot of oil, and they would also be very easy to take over. So, and they don't have any guarantees of any sort at the moment, anyway. I can certainly change at any point. The British like to guarantee different places, like the Belgians here. They don't at the moment, but I bet if we start fabricating a claim, there's a very good chance that they would. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking to do, is to actually go into Iraq. So how long would it take to fabricate, justify a war against them? Probably 200 and some days. So we'd take over Baghdad. 245 days. We don't have the political power for it anyway. So once we get to 49, I'll do that, I think. Otherwise, yeah, we were looking at people that are exercising. Yeah, I'm going to have these guys stop. As long as they're trained, I think that's good. These guys are... Wow, we need to stop these guys because they are already regulars. And these guys as well don't need to be killing off anything we produce here. So More civilian factories coming online. We do have quite a few civilian factories as it is, so let's actually go ahead, convert some factories just to give a boost to our military industry here. Do about, let's see, what would that make it? 4? It would at least be a start. Speaking of which, we actually, I'm going to just max this out, so as these come online, it should automatically fill this up. So we did do Fighter 1. Motorized, support equipment. Let me actually prioritize our support equipment. Okay, mechanical computing is finished off. So yeah, we're pretty much working on industrial type stuff at the moment. Our land doctrines, I think we need to have to think about that a little bit. We obviously have that major negative. I'll have to check to see what we actually need to do about getting rid of that negative. So otherwise 36, so yeah, we don't want to do that yet. But we could go ahead and do the improved machine tools. That ahead of time penalty isn't too bad, so we certainly need to get the maximum out of our factories here, so increasing the production efficiency would be a very good thing. And yeah, we haven't had our Spanish Civil War yet, but now, at the moment, we'll be able to support our Republican Spain friends here. As soon as that goes off anyway. I think I'll be able to send a few guys, a volunteer force, and probably take control of it. Help them out quite a bit. I'm thinking to send motorized infantry on over there. These guys are regular already, so it'd probably be a good idea. Probably should put some sort of leader on this. Does everybody have a leader? Yeah, they do. Okay. Yeah, it'll be 3 or 4 divisions that I can send as volunteers, I think, anyway. We'll see when that actually comes around. We'll see what that is. Actually, one thing I've been neglecting is our Air Force. We finished off national mobilization, so we increased our national unity and our political power. So where did we want to go next? So join Comintern or create our own faction. Not quite ready for that. So I'm going to go on over to this track here. Metropolitan France, this adding infrastructure is a little bit boring, but getting these additional industrial expansion next and military factories after that would be quite good. And we'll get extra research slots. And actually we can do the same thing. These aren't mutually exclusive or anything like that. And these would build more factories in our colonies here. So we'll start over here though. Alright, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time. I'll have things ticking, but sort out my Air Force a little bit here. So I'm actually, what I like to do is delete these guys, and they'll be sent, the equipment will be sent back to our reserves. So then I'll be able to sort it out how I actually want it, because these like squadrons are very, very small at the moment. So this, we probably have our aircraft carrier there. Concentrated industry is also done. We just finished deleting these guys, and then we're going to sort out rebuilding squadrons after that. After we choose another research slot. So concentrated industry. Let's go right into concentrated industry 2. Could actually do construction as well. 10%. Or just factory output plus 20%. I'm going to go with that. So yeah, as we obviously know, we have planes available. So what is our biggest... I mean, obviously we're going to be on the German-Belgium border here. So this Champagne, I think Lorraine here has 1,000. So actually these air bases are quite good. I think the German ones aren't that big at this point in the game anyway. So we have a bunch of interwar fighters. We're starting down our Fighter 1 track, so let's go ahead, add a couple hundred fighters. and we won't assign them to anything yet. So, interwar bombers. We're actually able to go ahead and start justifying that war, so let's actually go ahead and do that so we don't waste any time. So we'll 245 days will set us up August 30th of 37. So when we get to about, I probably want to justify both on Luxembourg and Belgium at the same time, so that's going to cost us probably 100 political power at that point. At least we're gaining 1 per day at this point. 2 actually, with the focus that we're doing is costing 1 per day as well. So anyway, we were back over here. Actually, since we're doing this justification, we could probably get some aircraft, actually 1,000 aircraft here in Lebanon. Let's go ahead, send our interwar fighters. Send, like, actually that would be everything, is that right? Yeah, we can't merge or mix them together. So let's send like 100 of our tactical bombers, maybe close air support, naval bombers, carrier fighters, interwar bombers. I suppose we can go ahead and send them too. Alright, so that would be good, and let's put everything back in Champagne. Won't do anything with the interwar, or, thought I had fighter ones. Did I deploy those over here? Don't think so. Yeah, it's interwar fighters. Well, I thought I saw a fighter 1 in there, but maybe... Have we researched that yet? Yeah, we have these guys. Maybe I haven't built any yet. I thought I saw one, though. Anyway, we're... our new leader. Yeah, actually, I forgot to mention. We have a new leader, Maurice Thorez, who had been our communist revolutionary here as well. So he became our actual leader. So he's angered by Iraqi posturing. He's trying to sell this war. Regardless, we must be ready the people for war. So August, 31st? Actually, our manpower went up quite a bit as well. Victors of the Great War. So yeah, we do still have that Victors of the Great War, which is reducing our... Does it say anything about this? Yes, land doctrine research time plus 75%. I don't recall if I can remove that or not. Missing equipment. What do we have? Tactical bombers. Yeah, we don't have a line for tactical bombers at the moment. I'm okay with that. So where did I see that we had those fighters? I could have sworn I saw some fighters around, fighter ones that I'm talking about. Apparently not. Yeah, wait, these guys. There's NID 62s, okay. I guess I could have, yeah, so that's what the interwar fighter we want. I thought I saw fighter ones, but anyway, I've been going on about that enough at the moment, so... Anyway, let's go up to max speed, I would say, and get things going. Yeah, I think what like I said, I'll target... Let's get to 100 political power. So we want to bring the revolution to Iraq. Iraqi workers, your liberation is near. I can't imagine there's too many workers there. Actually, with that said, I could probably start to send some units on over there. Probably don't need all that much. I could probably send... Let's send like half of these guys to like secure... Let's create a new theater, number 1. And we'll call this the Iraq Theater. So we'll send half of these guys over to the border here, and they will nicely arrive there. We'll have to set a leader. And actually, we've got more military factories coming online. Let's see. What's the priority here? I would say priority is still in... Let's actually take that all the way to 10 if we can. Priority is still in infantry equipment 1. So we've got a research to do, build radars. Actually pretty good. We had some interwar artillery we could go ahead and do, soft attack. Free civilian factories. Alright, so since we just brought a few military factories online, I'm going to go ahead and build a couple more civilian factories. And then we'll probably, after that, go convert some of these over. Okay, we finished Metropolitan France, and we'll immediately move on to industrial expansion. Keeping an eye... here we go. So the Spanish Civil War. Firing off. What will this mean for Spain? The Spanish Civil War. The Civil War has erupted in Spain. Several generals seeking to overthrow the current government in Madrid have issued a pronunciamiento, and a large portion of the Spanish armed forces have answered their call to arms. This right-wing nationalist faction has occupied much of Spain, including the overseas territories. Loyalist forces and volunteers have assembled under the left-wing Republican government, determined to resist the push to their last breath. The battle for Spain has just begun. Alright, so that's actually our calling here. Where's some of these guys taking attrition? Because they're in the mountains? Okay. I was not aware about that. Alright, so how many of these guys can we send? I think it'll be 3 or 4. Send volunteers. Okay, so you have divisions. Yes, 4 is the limit. So let's create, again, another grouping here from the Spanish front that we had here. We're going to send our motorized guys. Motorized or mechanized, whichever you prefer to call them. And I'll actually create another theater. I really like using these theaters. I'm probably overdoing it slightly, but that's okay. So, yeah, we'll say that they're high priority. And put a good leader on these guys, too. We'll probably put... Well, de Gaulle is a panzer leader. Do we have somebody that was like a trickster, I thought? Yeah, this guy, we'll put him on there. Okay, so volunteers will send you guys. Pretty sure it was that one. Yeah, it was that one. Okay, so we have to wait for them to accept this, and they have accepted it, and it will take a couple weeks for them to arrive on March 11th. And actually, otherwise, we were going to be sending this grouping on over to Iraq. And actually, can we see our infrastructure here? Any supply areas? Not really sure what the best way... Basically, we'll want to just completely rush towards Baghdad. That's the thought. So... don't need to create a broad line or anything like that. This might be too many to be in this province, though, but we'll see. Is everybody selected? Alright, there they go. So those guys will arrive when they can. And our volunteer force disappears, and then it will come back at some point. Yes, we still have this. The tactical bombers, we're not building any. So, more Iraqi posturing regardless, we must be ready for war. So yeah, when we get these units for the Civil War, and we get full control over them, we can really cause some havoc on the nationalist forces here especially because we have these motorized guys. That'll be very good. Let me delete. I think I didn't delete the previous orders here, but delete. And that's what it's telling me. Yeah, it had this little alert there. Yes, these guys want military access. We will be happy to give it to them. Okay, the volunteers should be arriving momentarily. Here we are. So I'm going to move them up here and try to cut these guys off. Is what I like to do. Since they reassigned, their organization went down to the minimum, so it'll take a moment to set this back up, and actually I need to plan to get that nice little bonus, and of course I'm drawing that incorrectly. Hard to remember to draw those the way that we're actually supposed to. Actually, I think I might have did that one wrong as well. I wanted to do an offensive line. Come on. There we go, finally. So they'll start getting their planning bonus. This planning bonus, we probably won't wait for it, actually. I just want to wait for our organization to go up. And our organization almost to the max, and then we will completely attack. Good stuff. So enemy air superiority. We're going to win this battle in another 4 days, it looks like, unless they get in there. But usually what I've seen... Okay, they've actually expanded a little bit over there, but if I can just break through, the Republicans have enough forces that they're just going to reinforce these borders. We don't have to worry about anything about that. Of course, we could get ourselves encircled by being so... getting in there so quickly there. So we have improved machine tools. Very good. Let's go ahead. Let's see, we're probably ahead of time on everything industrial-wise for the moment. Could do construction, but I am not going to worry about it for the moment. Let's go ahead and start working on... Let's go ahead and start working battlefield support once again. And I'm thinking, I was originally thinking operational integrity for tactical bombers because we've got quite a few of those. But I'm not sure I really like the bonuses that come along with it. Air support, I like fighter detection, air support mission efficiency, and ground support. So I'm just going to go down this again. Alright, well actually it does look like we're out of time for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We changed over to the communist ideology. We joined the Spanish Civil War on the side of the Republicans, and we'll try to cause some damage. We're fabricating or justifying that war against Iraq, and we'll be also doing the same against Belgium here in the upcoming episode. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the episode. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.